there is one ultimate authority, and that is Spirit. And since Spirit is everywhere, all the time, and moving through you as your life, that makes you the spiritual authority of your life. How cool is that? How scary is that? Doesn't have to be scary. It can be cool, it can be exciting, it can be fun. It does not have to be scary. So rise out of the old paradigm. I'm Amy Steinberg. Is that an awesome song? Yeah. We talked the day the CDs came in, the 2,000 of them, and with that track.
Did you call me that I was home?
Pardon me?
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't going to share your stuff, but she said, I was sobbing, you were talking. Okay, she was sobbing and I was talking. And I said, sweetheart, and I've asked her if I could share this because I would not share your personal information unless with permission. So I asked her if I could share this. She goes, oh yeah, I'm over it now. Got the girls in. Anyway, but the new baby's in. And so I said, sweetheart, is it lost on you that the one track that was messed up out of the whole CD is the one that's telling you to rise out of the old paradigm? Because I don't know about you, but as a musician myself, every time I get a new CD out, I'm like, this is the one. This is the best one I've ever done, and this is the one that's going to get me on wherever, or get me to play wherever, or get me to, or make me the money that's going to. I mean, that's where you go. It's like, yeah, this is my baby, and I'm putting it, because you're putting yourself in it, and you're giving it out there. It's the most vulnerable, raw, real, exciting, and terrifying thing in the world. And so you're putting yourself out there. And so I said, is it lost on you that maybe you're being urged to rise out of the old paradigm of thinking that the CD is your good? Of thinking that actually the gigs are your good, or the songs are your good, or this church is your good, or anything else is your good? Is it possible that you're being called forward to rise out of the paradigm, the old way of thinking, that out here is where my good lives, and not in here, in the absolutely unlimited, amazing creative flow that is Amy Steinberg? Can I get an amen? Amen. That's what I'm talking about. Rising out of the old paradigm is letting the old way of being go. Changing your normal, as I've talked with her a lot about, because someone shared that with me once. You know, I used to travel around a lot and perform and do cross-country tours, and man, I did it hard at the beginning. Because I thought I couldn't afford a hotel, so I would just camp or stay with somebody or whatever. And then I got over that, and I raised my consciousness to afford a hotel. And then I'm like, someone said, well, you should just fly. It takes less time. I'm like, it's a lot of money. And then I raised myself out of that paradigm, although I still drove because I wanted my dog with me. But that's another story. I won't give you any ideas there. Take the pooches on the road. But the old paradigm, we're always being called forward to release the old in some way. So I want to talk this morning about releasing another paradigm that probably all of us have at least experienced, if we're not still experiencing in our life, and that is the paradigm that someone else has authority over your life. That anyone else has authority over your life. I put my faith and my trust in a lot of people in my life, a lot of teachers, mentors. Sometimes, most of the time, that's been a really good decision. And sometimes, it's not felt so good, because maybe this person betrayed a trust, betrayed a confidence, what have you. That's painful. That's painful. But it's also a reminder and a calling forth, if that ever happens to you, as it has happened to me. It's a reminder and a calling forth, excuse me, I am my own spiritual authority, and how dare I defy and defile God moving through me by giving the reins of my life to somebody else and saying, tell me what to think, tell me what to feel, tell me what to do. And so I'm bringing this up because if I can do that, and I'm pretty confident, would you think I'm a pretty confident person? I'm a pretty confident person. I'm a pretty happy person. But if I can do that, the chances are that maybe someone here has done that, or is tempted to do that, or maybe tempted in the future to do that. So I'm bringing it up because it's important to remember that you are your own spiritual authority. So if anyone, a mentor, a teacher, a friend, a spouse, or whoever, a minister, if someone tells you that they know better for you, let the red flag be raised. Okie dokie. Let it be raised. Because no one knows for you better than you. No one knows for you better than you. Now, does that mean not to trust? Of course not. But I want to share with you what Young Van Zandt says about trust, just a little bit of it. I love her so much. This is a great book, came out many years ago, and it's still a trusted favorite. It's called One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. And I'm just going to read this one line. There's a big difference between trusting somebody and putting your trust in somebody. We all make mistakes. Big difference. The way Christy Snow is saying it in her book that she's writing, Living in Solution, is trust is not trust not in personalities of people, but in the belief of the good of God flowing in as and through your life. Trust not in the personalities of people, which can let you down, because we're human, but trust in the flow of good, the flow of God moving in as and through your life. Because that is true. That's what's always true. And that is what you can never be separate from. And of course, Miracles says that we have one fear, and that is that we're separate from God. Our only fear and our only problem is the way they said it. We only have one problem, and that's our belief that we're separate from our source. We're never separate from our source. Never separate from the source that created us and is expressing through us, and has given us this beautiful charge of being our own spiritual authority. Ernest Holmes says that intuition is spirit moving through man. Intuition, that's it. That's your teacher. Your life is your best teacher. As teachers, we're just here to teach you that. Bring it out of you. That it's you. It's you. The Sufis have a wonderful saying, which is Evala. When someone is praised, a teacher is praised in the Sufi tradition, they just simply say Evala, which means it's not God, but God moving through me. It's not me. It's not me, but God moving through me. It's not me, but God. It's not me, but God. And so your intuition is spirit moving through you. Another piece of this is taking our own inventory. You know, I love the program, the 12-step program talks about taking your own inventory, right? And so, but here's what we do. Sometimes we take other people's inventory because we don't want to look at our lives, right? We don't want to look at our lives. It's like I love, Byron Katie says, there's my business, your business, and God's business. And when I was writing my notes, I wrote, my bus, your bus, God's bus. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Sometimes I get on somebody else's bus, and I don't know where it's going. I don't know where it's going. I don't know. I don't even know where it's going, but I think I know where it's going. I'm telling them where to take it, and it's like their bus. You know, it's my bus, your bus, God's bus. So we need to pay attention to our business, and not distract ourselves, because life is here for our growth. We're here to grow our souls. That's why we're here. We're here to be connected to each other in this dance of life. And grow our souls. And so, in this place of connection and dancing and being in our business, not somebody else's business, and turning things over to God's business, there's another Sufi saying that is, before your words pass your lips, let them go through 3 gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? Wow. That will stop a whole lot of stuff that needs to come, that starts to come out of your mouth right there. That promise you. You'll be like, oh, that either. Your friends will be like, you okay? I'm good, yeah. Going through the gates, I'm good. Is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? You know, and then back to Byron Katie, she's a big, spends a lot of time, big believer in the first one. Is it true? You know, one of her first questions in the work that she presents is it true? Are you absolutely sure that it's true? And a lot of times, no. Most of the times, no. But sometimes you're like, because I saw the email and I heard the conversation and I know what he said. Okay, so it's true. Is it necessary to say it? Is it necessary? Well, maybe, because maybe sharing some information might save someone else from being hurt. Is it kind? I want to pretend it's kind. You know, but is it kind? And I've added a 4th one to the gates. The 4th one is it in alignment with the feeling tone I want for my life? Is it in alignment with the feeling tone I want for my life? So if I'm getting ready to have a conversation or make an action, I really try to live my best to live my life this way. I'm not perfect, but this is when I try my best to live my life this way. Is what I'm about to say or do in alignment with the feeling tone that I want my life to feel like? Does that make sense? That I want my life to feel like. Let me say it the way Marianne Williamson says it. Everything we do is infused with the energy with which we do it. If we're frantic, life becomes frantic. If we're peaceful, life will be peaceful. And so our goal in any situation becomes inner peace. So are my thoughts, my words, and my actions infused with and in alignment with the feeling tone I want for my life? That's a great guidepost there. You know, you're driving down the road and you're kind of bouncing off and hitting the guardrail occasionally on this side, and you bounce over here, the guardrail over here. You're just trying to keep it between the lines, really. You know, those are good guardrails, good guideposts for you. Are those four things? Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? And it isn't in alignment with the feeling tone I want for my life. And so in the Torah, the Old Testament, in Genesis, it says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. And then just a little bit later, it says, and all that God created was good. So what happened? What happened? We had a disconnect, going back to Course in Miracles, and we started believing that we were separate from our source. In the beginning, God created everything and said, this is good. This is good. You are good. How's that feel? You get kind of twitchy? Or do you look, yeah, that's great. Serious, pay attention. When I say who you are and how you are is a perfect and divine expression of the infinite, does it feel good to you, or is it a little uncomfortable and you're trying to grow into it? Because it's okay. When I first heard that from my first minister, I was like, yeah. I'm so sure that's safe for you to say that. It might be blasphemy, I'm not sure, but I'm going to err on the side of staying away from you in case the lightning bolt hits. But yet there was some part of me that was like, no, wait a minute. That's truth. That's what I'm talking about. That's truth. She wasn't telling me to believe it. She was sharing, this is my truth. This is what's worked for me, is this science of mind teaching. She wasn't saying, if you don't believe this, you're stupid. If you don't believe this, you're going to be a failure in your life. No. She was just saying, this is proven to work for me and many other people. And I listened and I paid attention. And I realized that, wow, I feel that. I believe that. There's part of me that resonates with that. That who and how I am is perfect. Perfectly made. Perfectly guided. Perfectly directed in my life. So I invite you to say with me, who and how I am,
Who and how I am
is a divine expression of the one.
is a divine expression of the one.
Now we're going to say it like we mean it. Who and how I am,
Who and how I am
is a divine expression of the one.
is a divine expression of the one.
I kind of believe you. That was good. And so there is nothing, there is no one that is a higher authority in my life
That is a higher authority in my life
than Spirit moving through me.
than Spirit moving through me.
Hallelujah. So, speaking of that old-time religion, let's pull the Ernest Holmes out here. That's what my friend Ned used to call it when I started reading the science mind. He said, oh, no, preach it, that's the old-time religion. Let's see here. Ernest Holmes in a wonderful little book called